Good morning. Buenos dias. Another day, another dollar. What a long weekend. I want to know who created these long weekends. Why do we have to have such long weekends for, like, honestly, you eat a turkey, you go back home, and then you're good. You know what I mean? Like, it's one meal. But why do we got to have two short days, which nonetheless we nailed either way on the Discord community over there. And this is kind of something that I want to mention here. Look where we're at. This is the all-time high here. Look where we're at. We're right below the highs. Look where we pushed to. We pushed to the 60. Okay, this is the current new all-time high right there. That next yellow line you see there. And this is something I found that I did wrong last week. So I reviewed my trades, I reviewed my streams, and I did take some L's on the streams last week. But then I would get off the stream and, like, the setups, the key levels, the real plan came to fruition. And I'm there trading at the right time, the right setup, and everything works out fine in the end. But then I start to realize, then why do I have to take such stupid trades on the stream sometimes, right? And it could be part of the reason that, I'm kind of impatient waiting for these moves. So I knew last week that this thing was going to pump to here. And don't give me this shit that it's hindsight, please. Like, let's just save it. I'm there on the community talking all week long about how we're pushing to the highs. We're going to go to here. We're going to go blah, 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 blah. Point is simple. When we get to these new highs, I'm not surprised at all. What pisses me off is that when we make the new high, I'm typically, as history tells me, I am not in this rallies. So then what pisses me off is that I know it's coming. You can put out a target there, but you might miss it just because you are, in general, not in when you should be in, or you're rushing and then you start losing too much money inside of this garbage zone here, when really the setups are right here. You have the traps, you have the bounce of supports, you have the trap, you have the bounce of support, you have the trap, you have the bounce of support, rinse and repeat. So I want to be a buyer down here. And if you think about it, it makes sense. We want to buy low, sell high. That's always been what we've been taught, right? You buy low, and you sell high. Like, that's always the idea, right? But in the end, I'm here trying to basically get long sometimes, like here, and then it might dump. But anyways, that was the long basically story of telling you that I was impatient last week on the stream. And therefore, this week, I'm going to be a little bit more patient on stream. And if the support don't come in where I already have a plan to be buying, well then I simply don't make the trade. So it might be a little bit boring if you're looking for the thrill. I'm just not I'm not that type of trader. But basically, in general, right now, let me show you this kind of hourly chart here. I think we got 5 minutes of time here. Last week, I was mentioning here how we were making higher highs and higher lows on the hourly time frame, which of course we ended up making a new high, being that, the analysis in general was right. And again, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that, I knew that this was going to push all this up last week, but I kind of did know it. Hence why we were bullish last week. But the idea is simple here. When you look at an hourly chart that does this, you have the day that I got caught, buying all these supports here. We basically get the support here. We have the trap. We get the back test of that original trap. This is on a big time frame. You're not going to see this on a 2-minute chart, so don't even bother. But the idea is simple. This is the market winking at us. It's giving us that wink, like, we might want to reverse this move. We might want to start pushing, right? So whenever the market gives me that wink, well, it's pretty straightforward to where we should be going, to the opposite side of whatever way we've been trending. And so I came here, I'm like, okay, look, lower, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower high, higher high, lower, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and take a wild guess where we might be going, towards a higher high. So we don't really need to necessarily be, trying to predict the market per se, but based on the trend and based on the analysis, we want up. Choo-choo train wants up. And there's two ways to play it. And this is something I also thought about deeply last week, okay? I did a lot of thinking last week. Maybe that was a problem over the weekend. I'm not the type of person that just kind of, okay, it's long weekend, we can just kind of forget about trading. Yes, I forget about it, but at the end, I came here, I reviewed what I did. I reviewed a lot of things, but point is, we're always trying to improve. So 2-minute chart clearly shows us that we have this resistance right over here at the 60. That's the all-time high we've set over the weekend, which, by the way, we were long during the long weekend. Both days were amazing for me. So I'm not going to be trying to push too much today. I'm going to see what price wants to do. But in general, this is a resistance, right? 60. When I come here and I'm waiting for the dip to buy it, you don't have to do the same. You know what I mean? Like, there are many ways to trading the market. I am just much more comfortable with trading the long side. This is the kind of the part that I also don't think people understand. Because when we get the trap to the downside, like we do, for example, here, for me, in my opinion, I prefer to wait for this to happen. This is what I want to wait for. Because I know that when this happens, we're going to get a very good move to the upside. Am I going to be in the entire move? Probably not, unless I'm with a runner. I might catch my 25, 20 something points, which is amazing. But that there represents an opportunity for me. Whereas if I can see this, obviously, I mean, come on, I'm not an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, I see this highs here. I can take a short here. But does that mean that I'm gonna be shorting there? I can, but I choose not to. I don't want to trade too much. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with missing out on the short and waiting for the long, because the long is the better trade ultimately. Could you say, yeah, well, you can short, get the long both ways? I guess, but I'm not a perfect human being, so I know I'm gonna duck it up. I already screw up enough of the longs, so I kind of tend to stay out of the shorts in terms of shorting resistances, because right now this is a not, in my opinion, not really a shortable market. Like, don't give me this bullshit with bear flags either. I get frustrated because, yes, there are a million ways to short this market, but in general, like, look at this wick here. We got it to 60. Would you had shorted the 60 there when we made it over on Friday? Would anybody had shorted the 60? Maybe. If you did, good for you. I applaud you. But me, I'm not gonna short 60. I have no clue if that's the top. I have zero idea. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna pretend and guess. But anyways, the point is simple. 60 is resistance. If you caught it, good for you. I choose to simply not try to short the top. I wait for the dip, which on the Discord as well, I did talk about this idea of getting long whenever we decide to trap below 45. And we did already trap below 45. Whatever. My plan is there. We release it every single ahead of time. So it's not hindsight trading. But again, look at this. We basically do this. We get the little dip below 45. We get the squeeze back above. And then the entry long is right there at 45. And who cares what really happens now? We already got more than about 15 points from this reclaim of 45 here. And of course, right now, you should be already had taken profit with a runner looking for further upside. But with that being said, leads me to right now. I have no trade. I can easily short here. I can easily buy here. Either or, I don't have any edge in the marketplace right now. And this is what I did wrong last week. Because I'm still expecting further upside. I'm still expecting for price to continue to rise this week, or at least into today. That does not mean that I need to be buying, at the reclaim of 53, because that's going to be very aggressive and it could easily fail, in turn repeating the same mistakes I did last week. So in other words, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to just basically sit here, and if I don't trade, I guess I won't trade. So yes, might be a little bit more less exciting, but less exciting is a good thing. Trading shouldn't be a game of, let's rush into a position so that we can make money. Like, that's the wrong mentality. I forgot to put this here. That's the wrong mentality to be thinking on trading. Like, yes, I see the trend lines here. You know what I mean? Why is this red? I don't want it red. I don't like red. I want blue, baby. I like the color blue. There we go. Yes, you have the trend line there. I mean, you have a million different ways to get long and or short. Let me see on the top step tilt over here. I've been watching the tilt recently. I find it pretty weird, but so we have 60% longs right now on ES based on Top Steps platforms. They're in at 46, and 40% short are short at 47. I always find it magical how Every trader on Top Step decides to get short and or long at the exact same level, give or take. I find that, like, that's kind of amazing, isn't it? I see a little bit of a micro gap here as well. I don't know if it'll fill, but nonetheless, it's always a good idea to train your eyes to kind of fill those gaps. We actually filled one over the long weekend as well. I'm going to show you it. Where did we fill? I think it was at around 17. That's right. So I was mentioning about this micro gap on the community as well. So you can see this little micro gap here. You got to train your eyes to really see them, but nonetheless, they're pretty, they can be pretty, you can see that little gap there. So when we were pushing, I was already long into this push immediately. But as we push, you know, you want to take profit because we might want to come back to that to fill the gap. And then look what happens. We fill the little micro dip. We bounce right from there, which is, again, another key level, 18, 17 level. We bounce from there, and then look at that. We filled it, and we continue with the rally. So again, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen here. I'm just telling you to kind of train your eyes to see them. They can be worthwhile sometimes. So we have another little micro gap here. So perhaps we might fill it today. We may not. I have no idea. But nonetheless, I'm going to have that right there, just kind of reminding me that we have some potential downside here. Good morning. Will you be doing a series on how to pass your Top Step combine? Will I be doing a series like you want to see like a small account challenge, I guess? A lot of people do that. It's very popular on YouTube. I mean, I got a fresh combine. I haven't even started. So if you guys want, we can do that here. This is a fresh one because they gave me a free one over the weekend. No trades. It's 0, completely flat. The account number, combines I don't really care showing. So it ends in 091. Let me see if you can. I'm gonna have to move this. Give me a second. You see that? 091. I mean, we can kind of keep track of that one this week if you want. I haven't traded on it. I have not traded on that one at all. It was a free one that was given on Friday or Thursday, so I welcomed the free gift. Why not? So 091, it's all being recorded. It's all there. So I'm gonna just, I guess we're doing a small account challenge. We'll do a series of it. I don't know, like, I do think about doing that. I try to do it once, but I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to keep up with like doing videos and stuff for me. But I mean, like, just in general here, I guess we can do that. That would be pretty easy. So in other words, today we need to be patient, unless you kind of want to get risky right at the open. But nonetheless, we do have an indicator here. We do have the Wheel of Fortune, if you will. So green means pump, red means dump, and yellow means chop. Just, I mean, we might have to chop a little bit. Now, that's the kind of the reality. Nonetheless. So, where's the spinny thingy here? Where did it go? Where did it go? I don't know where my button went. Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Toggle. I don't know where it went. But luckily we have a backup. Oh, we have the backup over here. So let's ask the magical question, Cristobal. Are we going to dump at market open? I would rather see the dump and then the pump. You know what I mean? I don't want to see the pump because then... No opinion. All right. All right. No opinion. Okay. That's pretty straightforward. I like when she's like this. When she wakes up in a good mood, she gives me very clear answers, and I like it. So she's got no opinion on whether we're gonna dump. I guess the $1 million question is, are we going to? No, not are we. Is yes, yes. Last question: is ES going to Pull back to, what am I waiting for? I think it was 32. Oh my god, I forgot the level I'm waiting for. $60, 32, 35. Let's go with $60, 35. Oh man, whatever. She'll understand it. Perhaps. All right, I like it. That's what I'm thinking as well. I want to see a nice pullback to the $60, 35. Will it happen? I have no idea, but right now we are reclaiming the previous all-time high, which is 53. 25 there. These lines, don't delete them, have them there. That was the previous high that we were under for a couple of days. I think it was like 14 days. Whatever. We were under for a while. That was a current magnet. Right now, we are basically squeezing right back above it. Where is the long entry? I missed it already. It was right at the bottom, right here at 45. Reclaim 45. This is nothing but a giant trap. Below 45, we get down to the 36. And then we reclaim 45 and off to the back up to the highs we go. By the way, I think it was Brand on the Discord. He nailed it right to the tick. The man said he wants to, as long as 36.40 held, he's looking for further upside. And wow, I hope the guy got long at 36 because that was literally the tick low right down there. Literally. Look at that. 36. That's pretty spot on. I would have gone long at 45, not 36. But 36, nonetheless, working out beautifully. All right, market's about to open in 5 seconds. Get ready. I'm not going to be touching this thing because I need to see more structure. If I had to guess, we go up. That's just what I had to get, if I had to guess. I wouldn't short this here. You got some nice cojones if you short there. And I will applaud you if you get it. We're sitting right below 60. The 60 is the previous high that was set back on Friday, if I'm not wrong there. So we are just under that previous high there. If you want it to be aggressive, there's that long right here at 53.25 almost there. You see that? That was the previous high. We squeeze through it. And then we do the back test, which always kind of happens. The squeeze, the back test, and then the continuation. I'm not touching this. I have no opinion here. You know what I mean? But if you are itching for a trade, I would not short this thing. If you want to short it, just send me the money. You know what I mean? Like, I'll do better with it. And there you go. Back up to the highs, just like that. Is 60 gonna hold as resistance? In my opinion, no. But we're getting stuck right at 60. Again, no real shocker here. Like, if you're coming here and you get long, then you're like, oh my God, why are we getting stuck at 60? Why? Why? Well, that's the previous high from Friday. Should have taken that long at 53. Fuck. Should have been just taking that long and walked away. But you know what happens? When we make a new high, we typically dump a little bit, and then I end up basically buying everything and fudge. But anyways, at least we got the, kind of the setups working, the push, the back test, and the continuation. Look at that, 60. We closed right under 60. Again, I'm not going to short this, but be my guest if you want. As high as we are, it's still a better long than it is a better short. It's still a better long. By the way, this has been expected. Nothing really surprising for me here. And I did really well over the long weekend. It was amazing. Pretty much every day. There was only one day I think I had red there. But then we made it all back in the evening anyway, so it was fine. Just like that. Back up to the ducking 60. You know, if I had taken that 53 long, it would have failed. You know it. You know it. 60 getting us stuck again. If you're in shock there as to like, oh my goodness, why is this thing getting stuck? Well, we know it's a speed bump, you know what I mean? It's gonna take some time. That's the previous high from Friday. And look how well we bounce inside of the box. So this is the high on Friday. This is the high that was the previous high. So I mean, look at it. We squeezed through it, reclaiming it. We back tested pretty much almost right to the tick. Now we could easily kind of chop in here, right? Like it's a matter of probabilities in this game. Can we continue higher right now? Absolutely. But what would be best for me is if we can accept price at 53.25, meaning, you know, it's okay for the market to get stuck at 60. We can consolidate in here further. That would be better for me. But the market does whatever it wants. All we got to do is follow price. I'm going to let this thing squeeze as high as it wants. And let it build some type of consolidation range. And then take a long from there. And last week, I know I said that this, you know, that we were going to make new highs. And I think a lot of people kind of misunderstand as to why I believe all these things, but without giving you the long explanation, the markets kind of give us this hint, and if you don't follow the hint, you're lost completely. You know what I mean? Like completely lost. But look at this. This is a V. It's shaping out as a V. Tell me that this doesn't look like a V. This is the daily chart here I got for you right away. I even sent examples here on the Discord here over the long weekend and stuff. We were talking about what was it? I don't know. We're talking about too much things, but the point is simple. Like there's the P, the magical P there. I don't know if you can see it right here. If I draw on this thing, it's gonna come everything. So we have the squeeze, and then we have the P. I even sent the picture there. I'm like, is the P gonna work again? I'm not here trying to, you know, tell you that. Look, I don't know what I'm trying to tell you. The point I'm trying to tell you is basically that the trend is your friend. Don't try to pick tops with this thing. Let's wait for the pullback, and then we look for the rip. It's much simpler. And to anybody telling me that the trend is somehow to the downside, even last week, if you were shorting last week, look at it. All of last week, it was a discount on price. Is it not? Think about it. Look at it. Every dip was a buyable dip. Every single ducking dip. So the one day I take the loss with the, you know, with the red day where we don't bounce from any support, I don't give a shit because every other day it works. Big scale, we are trending up. Future trend went up. Dun, dun, dun. Speed Racer says, good morning. Buenos dias. Another week. It almost feels like another week, another high now. Something that's beautiful about technical analysis and like this way of trading in general is that you never need to feel the need that you're missing out on anything. Like we missed that little trend line break. You know what I mean? It's nice, beautiful, but it's so guessy for me. I just don't like it. I trust me. I did it. I did it for months. When it works like this, it's beautiful. But then after this trend line works, you're like, okay, well, what's the next play here? So you're kind of waiting for this one out to break, right? Or you might be building another one like this. Like I just always felt like I was guessing. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody, but for me, maybe it's because I'm a dad. You know what I mean? I like kind of things in my control. And I like the slow and easiness of just waiting for the trap support. And then like, look at this setup. It's beautiful. But you know what's more beautiful? A trap. A trap is just so much more beautiful. It's like, it's just so much more better. And I can prove it based on the charts. You know, I'm not here talking crap about how it's better. It just is better. That's kind of a double bottom there, but I wouldn't really call that a trap. I think we had one on Thursday, if I'm not wrong. Thursday were the last ones at 09 and 02. So I should have been long since Thursday. So this is the trap right here. This is what I'm talking about here. Now this is it. Like, this is what excites me. We all knew about this O2, at least people that trade technicals, okay? Like, look at that. That is fucking beautiful. We get the trap below a level of support. We squeeze right up and look at that magical move. There's no need to guess where the trend is going. And then again, 09, another trap at 09. These are levels that will rinse and repeat over and over for like the past 2 weeks. Trap, squeeze. And then another trend line here that breaks. But again, is the trend line what's right, or is the trend that's right with the trap to the bottom? You pick. Either way, I want to be in from down here. I like buying here. I don't know why I throw a lot of shades at trend line. I think it's because I'm having a conversation with myself in my head. Because like I say, I used to trade like this. But I do get it. It can be boring to trade once a day. You know what I mean? It's very boring to trade twice a day with good setups. 10 a.m. news. Good point, guys. Actually, I didn't even check the news, so I'm gonna check this thing out here right now. I'm waiting for the dip and hopefully you get the rip afterwards, but let's see. Monday, December 2nd. We're already in December, by the way. Do you guys realize that? We are almost done with this year. How fast was that? So ISM came out at 9. We have numbers at, I see numbers here at 10:30. I don't really see any numbers at 10, Versetti. I see numbers at 10:30. Where's the one I like? I think it's this one that I like. Yeah, this one. I like this one. This calendar here. Yes, we do. See, I do. That's why I said I don't like that other calendar. This one's better. You're right, Versetti. We do have numbers at 10 o'clock. And numbers in 4 minutes, too. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, so numbers in 4 minutes, and we have numbers in 19 minutes. So, yeah, get ready. 10 o'clock numbers and 9:45 numbers. This will provide definitely a lot of momentum or. All right, so 2 things are about to happen with these numbers. Again, I always have to assume that we're going to get volatility. I cannot assume that it's going to be a dead news. But basically, volatility is about to come, and you have 2 choices. You either wait for the numbers to come out, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a dip and then the rip. Or the numbers are just going to be basically fuel for the continuation of this further uptrend move. Either way, I'm not going to be mad, but I am going to be a little bit sad if this thing just rips with the news. I'm hopeful that maybe we can trap below 45 one more time, or better yet, my magical number that I would love to see a trap under is like this 32 level, but I do realize that we are quite some ways from there. So below 32, I'm going to be shorting. Above there, well, I'm definitely still bullish. Why am I going to be shorting below there? If you want to know more, well, then you're going to have to join the community, I guess, to see the further detail of why these levels are important. The link is on the chat if you are interested. Versetti's using Forex Factory. I like this one here, investing. What is this? Investing.com. Gives me like even stars rating with it. All right, let's see if we can get this dip. Could that have been a trap to the upside there? Look at that. We got the squeeze through the 60, 3 to 5 points. We basically have dipped back into the range. It does smell like a trap a little bit there currently. Again, I don't trade them, but that's usually how we always reverse any move. You see the squeeze. You have the trap above a key level, 3 to 5 points typically. We got to 62, so 2 points fitting in. And then we reverse right back into the range. So where's the entry short? Right here. right there. It looks exactly like the long. It's smelling like a trap, but again, I don't short the choo-choo train. Perhaps somebody there in the outer world can see this video and then just be able to just short and long both ways. Perhaps. The stream is cutting in and out. Uh-oh. I got a new even what's it called? Streaming software. Shouldn't do it anymore. Let me know if you keep having issues, but I hope not. Buenos dias, says Miss Elizabeth. Well, get ready because your morning's about to get wild. This thing is about to put in some heavy numbers in 2 minutes and big numbers again in 15, basically 9:45, 10 o'clock numbers. They are big numbers. That is $1 million question you just asked, but I guess the only way to find out is by waiting and buying it. I'm going to be waiting for that. We'll see. I mean, we just tested 53 again. I don't think 53 holds, you know what I mean? Like, that's the previous all-time high. It's a very risky long here, but nonetheless, it is a long, you know? I'm gonna wait. I have a plan I create, you know what I mean? And this is what I was doing last week, being too impatient on the stream, and there's no need for that. We got big numbers coming in. 5 seconds, so make sure you're ready. Please don't squeeze. Please don't squeeze. Please don't squeeze. I find it so weird when I'm like, please don't squeeze. Please don't squeeze. Every other time I'm like, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You're long at 36.50. The profit at 43. From the 36 to the 43, I mean, it's not bad. But yeah, that 36, you should have at least held to that 45, I would think. Look at that. You would have still been long. You were one of those people that took the 36 long. How were you even long at 36? It was like 6 in the morning here. Or 5 something here when we hit that price. You were up early. All right, so we got another back test of 50, 53.25. Again, I'm not going to be upset that I missed it, but that was the previous high there. You can see how these levels come into play. It looks like a weak bounce so far, but look at that, 53. There is no real, I guess, wrong answer as to where to get long. You can wait for 35, 45, 30, even 53. We know it's a previous high, so now it's going to turn into support. So just understanding that, you can take longs as we go up. The problem is the further we go up, you know that they are riskier and riskier. Kid's sick, so I had to get up. That's why I'm like, wow, you got that 36. I would have been long 45. I would have not hesitated to been long at 45. Because it aligns with my plan, but it already played out here. So I kind of, looking at this, if you were watching earlier on the stream, I talked about how it would be a good thing for the market to be consolidating here. And that's kind of what we're doing right now. So I'm kind of wondering if perhaps that 53 is not necessarily a bad long. You know what I mean? We're just consolidating here before we probably continue with this trend. Problem here is that we do have numbers coming in at 10 o'clock. So is the market waiting for those numbers as well? Could we further, could we go down further before the rip? I'm not interested at all in shorting this. I have zero interest in a short here. Zero. So I'm only looking long ways here. I don't think this trap holds up here. Don't be like me, you know what I mean? Like for me, my best guess would be, or sorry, my best thing that you can take away from the stream is the traps. This is all free content, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, if you can learn just in general the trap system and what I'm preaching here when it comes to having a key level and then squeezing and going back into the range. Well, this was a key level, right? This was the Friday all-time high that we set on Friday. You can see here we squeeze 2 to 3 points. We get back below 60. It's a short there. I choose not to, you know what I mean? But you don't have to be like me. What I'm trying to show you here is that this here is a possible entry where it is a good entry in general. Like that is what I'm trying to display here on the stream. So please, I'm a bull, you know what I mean? I'm always looking for the bullish side here, but if I'm going to short, I like to short when there's a trap involved at 60. So there is the short at 60. I am not going to short 55 because there's a ducking bear flag. Like that is nonsense. I'm going to short after a key level gets swept, gets back into that range. I have a short there, but I'm not shorting this bear flag. I don't think institutions are grabbing liquidity based on your bear flag or in general, whatever bullshit you have on your chart. Like, I don't even know what people put on here. What is this? This Fibonacci retracements here. I mean, look at this. I don't know how to decode this crap. This is some fanciness, you know what I mean? Maybe when I become more like, fine-tuned, more finesse, maybe I can trade with these things. These look like magical things to me, like sticks. I don't know. Magical sticks, magical lines here. How do you even draw this? Of course I know what the Fibonacci retracements are. Of course I know, but my point here is, why look at all those magical potion lines when it's very simple? We're ranging between 60 and 50. We have a small trap to the downside below 53. We have a trap to the upside. You take your pick. You either long from down here or you're short from up there. One or the other. It's just so much easier. All right, we got numbers. 8 minutes. Hopefully we can stop talking and get into a trade here in 8 minutes with these numbers. The magical rainbow chart. Yeah, I mean, that one's not too bad. The book map is not too bad because, I mean, it's complicated, but it's not too bad because that kind of shows you where resting orders are at. That could be good for like short-term, I guess, scalp trades. Like, for example, right now, these candles are printing something, right? So that rainbow chart is kind of talking about inside of the candles, like what's going on there. Where is the liquidity sitting here? Because I don't know where the liquidity is mainly sitting here, right? So that's what the book map is really good for. But beyond that, in my opinion, I wouldn't pay for it. But anything relating to orders and like, where the magnets are at in the market, I think those are workable strategies for people. As long as you're following price, that is what I think that is actually, a good thing. If you can master the book map, good. If you can master reading the order flow inside, that's, I think, another good one, but very complicated. But like, look at this. These are some Fibonacci circles. I don't know how to trade that. I'm not even gonna even bother with it. But if I had to guess, it looks like pi. So, you guys know what pi is? The formula for pi, 3.14, if I'm not wrong, or that's the magic ratio. I'm getting confused. But the never endless equation. Which one's another one that I used to like, actually? I'm waiting for the numbers, by the way, in case you haven't realized. I'm waiting for 10 o'clock. That's why I'm here talking nonsense. Bar patterns. What do we got here? Projections, anchored VWAP. I don't know. I don't like none of this. That just because I don't like it doesn't mean you can't master it. If you can, I applaud you. Just price is so much easier. When you follow just price, I think you're following the leader. Think about it. Institutions are not here like drawing lines. These guys have too much money to be relying on a little, something. Like they're following price. Where are we buying? Where are we selling? I think that in life, being disciplined outside of your life carries on to trading. Like the last week or so, I was not really that disciplined on trading on the stream, especially. It was noticeable. But I also wasn't disciplined outside of my life. I kind of stopped, you know, haven't been the greatest with fasting. I haven't been the greatest with my diet too in general. It's not that I've been eating junk food, it's that I've been eating more food. So I've been having lunch sometimes, and then I've been slacking in terms of going to the gym, but I noticed that I need to start today. It's difficult. I don't care what anybody says. It's very difficult. Especially I'm like, fuck. 8 months straight, 4 days in a row. I'm like, I'll take an extra day. And then one day turns into 2 days, and then 2 days turned into a week. And then a week turned into 2 weeks. We gotta stop that. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. And I'm speaking that from experience, that if you tell yourself, it's okay to have one day off, it's okay to not do one day the one thing you said you were gonna get done, it will carry on to everything. Like last week, I'm here talking about, being disciplined, trading only 3 times per day, but yet I'm trading like 5 times on the stream alone. So it doesn't really make sense. And I was becoming a bit of a hypocrite, and therefore I have to realign myself, right? Readjust. But that is why I love this whole process, because it makes me understand that one, I'm human, and two, I can improve. Anyways, enough with the nonsense. We got 4 minutes left till these numbers come on in. And like I said, currently the trap is to the upside here. So right there, that's it right there. If you got that short there, good for you. I would have not shorted that, but right now I'm waiting for a long here. I'm hoping that we can kind of break down this 53 and go down, Even 45. Give me something at 45. Honestly, give me anything except let's get out of this 53. I don't want to be buying here. The trap is to the upside right now, people. So study this stuff here. The trap there. Look at that. A key level being yesterday's high. Even if you shorted the resistance dead on, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have done that. I don't suggest you do that. More often than not, it will fail. But the idea is simple here. If you do have the guts to short that level, look at that. It's the beginning of the move to the downside. So why is 60 the beginning? You know what I mean? Like, this is where you should be looking at. This is where your study should be spent. Like, why did we reverse from 60? Why? You know what I mean? Why? Ask those questions. They will lead you to answers. Instead of trying to be, scalping within the candles. There is no need to do that. Zero need. In fact, if you try to scalp between candles, I think over time you're just gonna lose majority of the time. My brain, I speak for myself only, but my brain is definitely not hardwired to do that. I'm not jealous, nor am I envy of people that do that, but I do wonder, I'm like, good for them, like they can do that, you know what I mean? Sometimes it would be easier to just be able to scalp within candles, but I can't do it. Can't do it. I'm too emotional. And one-to-one trades, I do not like them. If I'm risking 150, I want to be able to make 6, 5 minimum. We got numbers coming in at 10 o'clock. Be careful. I'm going to wait and see how deep this pullback can be before buying. I'm waiting for this. I want this somewhere at the bottom at a key level, and then I want to get long. Long with the choo-choo train. We're trying to come back above 59 here. I'm not going to do this. I mean, I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. I don't care if we reclaim 53. It could be a beautiful long, but I'm just not in love with this level here. I didn't plan to buy here. It's the problem. I listed my full plan on the Discord community on Saturday, and 53 just wasn't part of it. So, even though it might be beautiful. Plus, we haven't reclaimed anyways. We're kind of back testing right now. We got numbers in 5 seconds. Get ready. Get ready. It'll be interesting if we reclaim this level here, but I don't know if we will. Looks like we are trying to reclaim it. I think we have, guys. Oh, shit. I think that might be it. That was it, I think. Fuck. I hope not. Come on, man. This is not enough of a pullback here. Fuck. My problem here is I didn't plan to buy this. I have a whole plan on the Discord, and then if I don't follow it, I mean, what was the point of, having a plan to even begin with? But I mean, that's it right there. We dipped below 53. We reclaimed 53. I should have been long there. Duck. Fuck. It's so easy, this game. So easy, but yet so complicated. Because your emotions come in, you're like, no, wait. Sit tight, wait. I think the setup already happened. I think I might have missed it here. So we got the dip. We get the rip back above the 53 level. Should have been long right now. There's nothing to be chasing here, but should have been long 53. We'll see. If they can continue to push, or they might just bring it back on down. We'll see. You're telling me that was the dip? That was the best the Bears could give today? That was it? Just fucking 10 points? Not even? Come on, man. Bring this thing down. Bring it down. Come on, Louis. $53 is starting to become a little used up here. I'm not gonna lie. It does kind of look like we are trying to maybe break it down. Now it kind of looks like it to me because, again, trap supports, we should be bouncing immediately of these things. Like this thing should have ripped, but now it didn't rip. So it gave a nice little bounce, but not enough. So could be weak. Could be still in jeopardy. This is where screen time kind of comes into play because it's like you see the trap, you should be long there immediately. But then the problem is, well, we have a trap kind of both ways, bottom and top and bottom here. So which one is the winner? That's kind of the issue here. So when you start to see these bounces kind of getting sold, that tells you that the bears are pretty much still willing to go further and bring in price lower. Whereas if we had done this, you know, something like this, that kind of tells me price is very strong, right? So right now, still kind of undecided in this range for me. It looks like we want to break it down, and it looks like we want to hold it. So it's a difficult read for me right now, but if I had to guess, just considering the fact that it's Monday, considering that we just ran off to the highs, considering that we haven't had any necessarily good pullback, we could pull back further. It would be an okay idea, an okay thesis, if you will. Ah, man, it's... I'm holding with every bit of my heart. I'm holding because I know that 53 could be a long here. We have a trap both ways. One of them is going to win. And if I was going to take a long, it has to be right here at 53.25. But I want to hold. I'm going to hold and see and wait for further price discovery. Today's about price discovery for me. Let's see. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to long this level. I'm not. I think it makes a lot of sense to flush all these lows, but I don't know. This is the hourly chart I have pulled up. If we were to somehow flush all these, get down to this 32, do a nice trap here, that would be beautiful. Like that would be the main kind of setup. But so if we're gonna go down there, how do I catch this thing short? Well, it's gonna have to be below this 45 here because we're still bullish here. Perhaps maybe there. And don't forget, we do have that little micro dip that I mentioned earlier over here at the 41. So things are kind of lining up that we might want to be going down here, but ducking choo-choo train. It's gonna. I don't want it to force my hand short here. I don't want to short here. I'm staying out. When it's like this, I'm staying out of it. There's no need for me to do nothing. I figured I probably wasn't going to trade in this range. So I'm here trying to maybe force a trade. Not going to work. As long as that 53.25 continues to hold, it's still a long, but it's becoming very used up here. Very used up. Again, 53.25. Why so exact to the tick? because, well, that was the previous high that we were under for, let's see. Do right, 3, 6, 7. I think 14 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 13 days. So that was the resistance for 13 days. And today, well, acting up as support here. You can see that. What about you guys? Share your thoughts with me. You guys think this thing's dumping or pumping? I respect your opinion if you put it in the chat. Don't worry. Right now, I don't really have a clear read here. I don't like that we have traps to the upside, traps to the downside. Could go either way right now. But again, unless you're long 53 or short 60, I think there's no business touching this thing anywhere. By the way, I think the algos do like this thing, with the like button. So hit the like button. It's gonna help the stream grow. I think it has been helping. So that's what I guess what I'll ask you for, if you don't mind. Traps to the upside, to the downside. Where are we going, Leo? This Wheel of Fortune doesn't even want to work right now. Oh, wait, it's back. All right, all right. Where are we going? Give us a clear answer. Pump, dump, or chop? Let's spin it. Is 53.25 going to hold, or are we going to dump this level? Give us the answer. Dump. Well, there you have it. She's saying we're dumping. That's a pretty straightforward answer. Should I be getting short here right now? This thing's starting to look like a little bit like a sideways M here. I mean, lower highs and stuff. No, I'm not going to short it. I'm just saying, but she's calling for a dump here. Wheel of Fortune is calling for a dump. I mean, I've taken worse trades too, though. So maybe 53 could have a bit in it. You know what I mean? 53. My stop could be at 51. I don't know. I'm not in love with this. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. Like, why couldn't we do this at a key level at the bottom? You know what I mean? We're always, when we're pushing to highs, we're always doing this. We rally and then we basically create a new tier of support up there. And if you ain't long, you miss it. No, 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 no. $53.25, holding like a champ. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Another bounce of $53.25. We've had already 1, 2, arguably 3, 4, 5, 1 trap, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bounces now. 10 bounces. This is getting, I applaud that $53.25. You holding like a champ. Look, another time here again. Again. Am I missing it? Am I going to miss it? Duck in the ass, man. Playing hardball with me today. 30-minute candles don't look that pretty. They're not looking too pretty right now. Hourly candle still looks good. I gotta admit, I don't have a clear read right now. I'm telling you straight up. As much as I went along, something tells me that we're just too much bounces from 53.25. And part of this confusion I have here is because I am not in a zone that I pre-planned for. So if I wasn't on stream, would I be sitting watching this? Absolutely not. I wouldn't. I'm not interested here. So that's kind of the problem that, but I'm here. I'm like, I have this combine. I want to try and pass this thing now. So I can at least get that involved here. And we're like 5 points right under the highs. You know what I mean? Like we could easily dump 10, 20 points here and it's still bullish. Like we are just so close to the highs. Can we really run another time here at the new highs? Close up, not bad. Even the numbers didn't really do a whole lot. I thought we were gonna get something better, yes, but unless you're long 53 or short 60, there's nothing, nada, absolutely nothing to be doing here. I want to stream another 15 minutes. If she don't want to do nothing, I don't need to do anything. I'll save my stress. Again, if you're not part of the community, I would suggest you join. We do have a lot of good levels, people calling out decent levels in there as well. And of course, my plan has been posted up since Saturday, so that's why I'm kind of being more patient because I want to wait for my plan to come to me or price to come to me so I can execute that plan. You know what I mean? I don't want to just rush into a position here. But if you have to, you know what I mean? Like if you have to, there's a short entry there right at the squeeze above that all-time high. Get back into the range. Like if anything you do take from the stream, I would say take that away from here, which is the traps. Study them. Don't just take my word for them. Understand how liquidity in general works. Understand why price moves in a certain manner between levels. Right now we're in the accumulation stage here before we do the next kind of move. But again, this is kind of key here. Why did we get stuck here? If you don't know why we got stuck there, like you're always going to be guessing in the game. If you don't know why we're bouncing from here, you're always going to be guessing in the game. So right now we're simply consolidating in between a range here, and we can consolidate here for as long as the market needs. And I'm just gonna wait until price gets out of there. But you don't need no fancy indicators. You need your patience and you need your levels. That's what you need. Plus, this is bullshit too. Like, why would I want to be trading in here? You know, there's a short, there's a long, there's a short, there's a long. Like, why am I gonna try to scalp for 3 points at a time when I know that when we get that trap, we're gonna be able to get 25 points plus, 20, 15. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're into. That's what I like. There were people in the community that didn't know about this 36 level. Even Elizabeth, I think, was here. I don't know if she's still here, but she was talking about she was long from here. Again, I'm not sure how they got to 36. They got to teach me, because I had about 38, 45 area. But again, the point is simple. As long as you're looking at the right leg, at the right move, at the right thing, which is price, in general, you'll be able to get yourself into trades that you can hold with conviction and look for these potential moves that generate power and generate real trend moves. Not this crap here, but I gotta give this another 10 minutes. If she doesn't move from here, I'm gonna walk away. I am not trading here. I'm not interested in buying a used up toy. You know what I mean? Every time I'm always talking about used up toys. I don't like used stuff. Used toys like that. No way. 30 hotel. Mhm. It does ask. I'm thinking about a question here. I'm like, how much more times is this 53 gonna hold before it breaks? This is how we break down a support. But it's tricky to break it down because, well, we don't know when it's going to come. So that's why I say I like to short weakness, because once we break down, we likely backtest and then we continue on with the move. So I want to get short at the retest of that breakdown, because it's too easy to short here and then it pops back on up. It's too easy. The market can do that a million times over and you'll get taken out every single time. So unless you wait for the breakdown, you wait for the back test here, that's your short entry there. That is an entry for me. Or of course, this is the second entry to the downside, but the first one is right there. That's it. That's why this one's reliable, but this is the best one. The trap is number one. The trap is king. The trap is, I don't even know how I learned it, but I'm just so grateful. As I guess the Bible, there's a verse there that says, "Seek and you shall find." You know what I mean? You want knowledge, you'll keep looking for it, and then you'll find it. That's how I felt about it when I came across it. I was with my mouth open. I was like, "No fucking way!" I literally said that. I am not even lying here. When I discovered about these liquidity graphs, I mean, I knew a little bit about them, but never to this extent, or never to the level that I'm gonna trade them. You know what I mean? But when I fully discovered and I grasped the idea that I'm the one getting hunted here, I was with my mouth wide open. I'm like, no ducking way. These pricks, no way. Well, typical Monday session, I guess, in the books. We got the rip and then we get the consolidation. We are consolidating under 60, above 53.25. We are consolidating for the next move. Which way? Well, if we break down 49.75, we go down. If we break up 62, then we go up. Consolidating, consolidating. Again, unless you want to risk the long at 53.25, there's nada to be doing here. You know what I mean? Nada. even if I take the long at 53, it's kind of a mandatory thing to be taking profit at 60 or 62, because I'm just not going to assume that we're going to break that level. You know what I mean? We have to take profit at resistance. That's what technical analysis tells us, because we do not know if we're going to break above here. So if I'm thinking about it, so if I take a long at 53, I have a max potential right now up to give or take 10 points. Not even, maybe 9, 8 points, give or take. And I'm going to risk 3 points. I don't like that. That is not good risk to reward for me. I would rather see this thing break on further down. So like that, the market's doing a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's going to leave these stops here. It's going to leave these stops here. It's going to leave these stops here. It needs to leave more stops here, so that by the time we create a trap to the downside, I'm going to be risking 3 points for a potential 15, 20 plus move back on up. That, to me, sounds better. All right, I think I'm going to end it. I try to wait, you know what I mean? Watch, I'm going to end the stream, and then we're going to get something beautiful. But I'm going to continue on the chat over on the Discord there. It was a pretty boring Monday. Again, this is expected. It's Monday hangover. Mondays tend to be like this. I don't expect Mondays to be all that, magical. So this is kind of a Monday. We get the original pump, and then after that, it just becomes this chop. There was still plenty of ways to make money here from like the 50 to 657. I mean, I don't want it. I'm over it. I don't want it. So thank you all for tuning in. Give it a like if you want to support the stream, because that will probably get the algos to kind of push this thing further. Right now, we're consolidating. I don't know how much longer, but I do need to get going. So I'm going to sit tight and wait for price to tell me where we're going to go. And then I'll be basically mentioning on the Discord whenever I do enter a trade. So peace. Thank you all for tuning in. Tomorrow is Wild Tuesday. Hopefully we can get some better action, because this is not